Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Dominic and I'd like to welcome you all to another episode of Spotlight Game of Thrones, the series in which we take a look at some of the characters who feature in the A Song of Ice and Fire novels, but are yet to be seen on the hit HBO show. So, if you love Game of Thrones and want to know more about the world and its characters outside of the TV show, you've come to the right place. In today's episode, we'll be continuing our look at the Targaryen dynasty. Last time we examined King Baelor I Targaryen, better known throughout the realm as Baelor the Blessed, whose devout piousness saw his bravery and stupidity go hand in hand, eventually leading to his own self-inflicted doom. Like his brother Daeron before him, Baelor Targaryen sired no children, which meant that once again the throne would pass to a brother instead of a son, and this time it would pass to Baelor's uncle, the hand of the king Prince Viserys II Targaryen, younger brother of Aegon III. Now, although it was unlikely that King Viserys II would ever sit the throne, he was hardly unaccustomed with power. It was even written that while Aegon brooded, Daeron warred and Baelor prayed, Viserys ruled. He had been the hand of the king since the reign of his brother King Aegon III, and he had been nothing if not good at his job and loyal to boot. It was said that he was the shrewdest hand since Septon Bath, who himself had been hand of the king to Jaehaerys the Conciliator, widely believed to be the greatest king Westeros had ever seen. Now, Viserys II was the child of Daemon and Rhaenyra Targaryen, and named after his uncle slash grandfather, sorry there's a lot of incest going on here, King Viserys I. In his youth, his mother and father became embroiled in the Dance of the Dragon civil war, and so Viserys and his brother Aegon were spirited away to Essos, only to have their ship set upon by pirates. Although Aegon was able to escape, Viserys was not so fortunate, and though he cleverly disguised himself as a common boy on the ship, his identity was eventually discovered. He was held hostage by a Tyroshi ship captain and thought dead for the remainder of the war. He ended up in Lys under the stewardship of the wealthy Rogaire family, who owned a bank that at the time was even more powerful than the Iron Bank of Braavos, and eventually he would go on to wed the family's eldest daughter, Lara Rogaire. Word soon spread that the king's long-lost brother had indeed survived the Dance of the Dragons, and after Admiral Alyn Velaryon, better known as Oakenfist, arrived with a huge ransom, Viserys returned to King's Landing along with his wife and members of her family. Viserys, being the only person his brother King Aegon III trusted, was immediately involved in rule and made the hand of the king, a role in which he performed admirably across the reigns of his brother and his brother's two sons. Viserys' wife bore him 3 children in Aegon, Aemon and Naerys. However, due to conspiracies surrounding her family and her general treatment at court, Lara never felt quite at home in King's Landing, and so she returned to Lys, leaving Viserys and their children behind. Her decision to leave left Viserys, who was once known for being charming and jovial, stern and hard. After the childless death of both of King Aegon III's children, Viserys saw himself crowned the king of Westeros, as even though there were those who felt that the throne should rightfully go to Aegon III's eldest daughter Dana, they weren't about to cause a stir given her nature and the all too recent turmoil of the Dance of the Dragons that stemmed from very similar circumstances. Viserys ruled for only a year, and he was far from an exciting king, but he was a good one in that time, with many writing that he had the potential to become another conciliator, for no king had been shrewder and more capable. He made reforms to the royal household and its functions, established a new royal mint, made efforts to increase trade across the Narrow Sea, and revised the code of laws that Jaehaerys had established during his long reign. It really is a shame that he became suddenly ill and passed away in the year 172 AC, with many finding his sudden downturn in health to be more than suspicious. Eventually, accusations began to fly that King Viserys II was murdered by none other than his son and successor, Prince Aegon, and while it can never be proved for sure, given all of the infamous and corrupt deeds that his son committed before and after he assumed the crown, it cannot be ruled out that Aegon the Unworthy killed his father. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Spotlight Game of Thrones. Remember, you can find previous episodes on the channel, as well as a playlist with all of Season 1's episodes included. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, as it really does help me out, and I'll see you all again soon.